become. Cameras are super interesting to me because they do something that I think should be impossible, and that's, you know, emulate the human eye. You're telling me I can like just take what I can see, capture it in a moment, and it stays like that, endless, timeless, forever? Those poor people in the image. Man, am I on the good side? I get to experience time. I was always super interested in videos and taking pictures and stuff like that. Now this one, and also this Sony one that I have over here, it's red. They're meant for photos, but you know, they had a video feature on it that I think I used like once ever, maybe. These were my sisters, and now I get to keep them because hand-me-downs are amazing. But when you think of a camera, you kind of think of something like this, or at least I hope you do. Jesus. The world today, we just have cameras everywhere, and no one even thinks twice about it. When I was young, having a camera was like more than a novelty. It was kind of necessary if you wanted to take pictures of like family memories and stuff like that, and you didn't have a lot of shots to do it. But I grew up in the age where technology just kept evolving and evolving, and that meant I got to play with a lot of toys, including this thing. This was my first ever video camera. This was made for video, and more so meant for like, you know, capturing family memories and stuff like that, but believe me, I used this thing to like record almost anything and everything I wanted to. Point the game at the screen to watch me play video games or do little skits with my toys. It was something that I just loved doing. I loved creating stories and stuff like that, and I just love capturing moments. And so every once in a while I would take my mom's camera, this was my mother's, and I would just record away whatever I wanted to, and it was a lot of fun, and it got me into video making. This thing is cool. It's Sony. It says DCRTR19. Sony always had like really terrible naming schemes. This came out in 1998, so it was a little bit before I was born, but you know, this was cool at the time. It was the first step into like the digital age. You know, it had a separate battery that you can take off. I'm too scared to take that off. It had a detachable battery, it had a flip out screen, and if we turn it on, we'll realize that it's also, come on. It's also touch screen. We can watch these precious family moments. I don't know if you can see that, but that's me and my family. I'm doing something. Oh, I'm hugging my dad. Damn. It's probably the last time that ever happened. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Oh, wait, that's when we got the Wii. Oh, that's sick. It had a selling point, 120 digital zoom. Because, I mean, it was new at the time. We take these things for granted nowadays. Zooming in that much back then was crazy. I could have sworn this told you how much it could zoom like optically, because, you know, it's a lens. It's a lens. It can zoom in without like losing quality or anything, but I don't know. As a night shot mode, which was pretty useful for like getting stuff in the dark and all that. But I think the coolest part about this camera was this part. Hell yeah. This thing recorded on mini DV tapes. Now this is one of mine. It's a Thomas tape 2011. No stealing, it's copyrighted. They record on these little DV tapes, which are kind of compact and handy. I guess they did it this way so you can, you know, take it on the go without worrying about like a full-size VHS. But then you would put it into an adapter so you could watch on your VCR and stuff like that. But if you didn't have a VCR, you could watch through this thing. I never get tired of that. So we can play back all like the stuff through this little screen if we wanted to, or if we wanted to get really fancy, it was simpler times, man. You just take this thing, you just plug it into there, and then like you just fucking cable, and oh, look at that. It does composite, which, to be fair, back in the day, that was the standard. You could, you know, use it, and there was like no copy protection or anything. So if I wanted to, I could just take one of these little things, and then just plug it into like there, and then plug it into my computer, and then I get all the magical moments, just all digital. Get in there. This is how you have to like digitalize your family memories. This thing's gross. What the hell happened to this thing? But yeah, that's how I got all the memories on my computer for backlog. And honestly, if we're speaking, the quality isn't that bad at all. These tapes have like a very interesting quality to them. It's like very unique, and honestly, I like it a lot. But we don't use tapes anymore, so get out of here. Nowadays, we use digital cam. So for Christmas a long time ago, my parents got me a laptop that could edit videos and a camera that I could use to record stuff, and it was a blast, let me tell you. This is like your obvious like dad cam. If we open it up, it's, you know, we get to see, look, it's all there. Oh, it's the lens cover. We can see the desk. These little puppies, I had a few of them. This is probably the newest one that we have, and let me tell you, they're not the greatest. I don't recommend this if you want to get into video. Get something else, god damn it. Really, the lack of manual control is what kills this thing, because if we look through, we have all these like different filters, but I mean, they're just like a filter you put over the screen. It's like an Instagram filter. It's not like really all that cool. If we go to standard, it looks kind of boring. Can't change the ISO. I can point on the screen to focus, I think, and there was just not a lot of stuff. What is all this? Achieve more natural tones gradually for brightness of subjects. Spread your settings on the TV to enjoy more details in this image. Auto, easy to record movies by letting your camcorder automatically use the best settings for every situation. Baby. Yeah, it's just like, it's all automatic stuff. Bro, I don't know if you can see that. It's so laggy. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing because there's like this little screen here that I can look at myself. It's pretty big and I can pretty much see everything. I guess it's not too bad, but definitely in the world that we live in now, it's something that I really wouldn't recommend at all. But, you know, for the time since I was a kid, it was really cool and really eye-popping. I mean, the quality wasn't that bad for what I was trying to do, and honestly, it was great. I don't think I ever used this thing for That Guy Who Games, though. Look, there I am. How you doing? You can put SD cards into this thing, but also what was cool about it is that it had onboard memory. This is like a camera for dummies. Like, it has some neat features, but honestly, if you just want something that can point and shoot at stuff and film things, this is your thing. If I'm gonna be completely honest, you can get way better quality from just a simple device that I think that we all carry nowadays. At least I hope we do. Blam. Phone. Got a little deception going on with the reflection. That's kind of cool. So yes, this was the iPhone I started That Guy Who Games on. This is the iPhone S. Remember those days? I do, and I fucking miss them. It doesn't turn on anymore, sadly. Like, if I'll hold down the button, it's just completely dead. I think I jumped in the pool with this or something. I don't know, but it's just, it's completely dead. But it's what I used to start That Guy Who Games. And the interesting thing about phones is that they give you the best quality for the ease of use that you get. All you have to do is just open up the camera app and press record, and you're recording better video than any dad cam on the market right now. But even if so, if you wanted more control and fine-tune your image a little bit more, you can download apps for that. And that's what I did for a long time. I filmed on a variety of phones, including there's iPhone, then there's a time I switched to Android with the S7, then I got the S8, and I would film on this for a little bit, and then I got the Note 9, and I filmed on... Did I film on this for a little? Yeah, I filmed on this for a little bit. These would be my cameras that I would use, and if I wasn't using them as my main cam, I would use them as a B cam. They were just that good. Because of the image processing that these phones would use, you wouldn't need a lot of light within the room in order to like see yourself, and it made things very even, very flat, but it's something that worked for YouTube videos and even sometimes short films. People still make movies on phones like this. There was a whole movie made on the iPhone 7 at one point, and they only get better and better. Today's phones are crazy. You can shoot in ProRes on the iPhone 13 Pro? That's insane. Every time someone asks me what camera do I use, what should I use, do you have any recommendations, I always say just film on your phone. You most likely already have one that is decent enough quality, and even if it's not the greatest quality, it's still gonna be better than buying like any camera right now, any cheap camera that is. But we all have that little bug in us, you know? We want the big boy. We want more quality. We want more pain in the ass things to do. We want to set up our entire shot before we even film it because damn it, we want more work for ourselves. All right, geez, man, here you go. There's a camera. This was my first DSLR, the Canon T6i. Look, it's over there. It says Rebel. This thing's a bad boy. Not gonna lie, when I first got it, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. The image quality wasn't the greatest, and there's something that has to be said about that. You really got to know how to do more than just set up a camera when you get to this point. You have to understand lighting and how to light things good and how to make things look more cinematic through lighting other than like, you know, picture quality. When you do that, you get to actually, you know, get good images, but without it, you're gonna get like some weird looking stuff. You can't be as flexible, and I didn't know that when I was shooting on this thing for half the time. Nowadays, I know, and I've gone back to using this for a little bit, and oh my god, it looks really good. The amount of control you have over the picture is insane. If we just open this up right here, you gotta manually focus. I couldn't just tap the screen, except I can because this is a digital camera. What the hell? This is a digital camera. I can tap the screen. So this was really cool, and I got to, you know, control more things like the shutter speed and the depth of field and the ISO. We can make it super dark. What am I even looking at? And really getting to understand like all these settings and what they do and you know how to really shoot with the camera, it makes you a better cinematographer, a better camera operator. And originally I wanted this to make more short films with it. In my defense, it was really cool to have a camera, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, I should have learned more before upgrading, because there's so much more to a camera. Like this thing on here, it's the lens. Oh, I don't know. Lenses can make or break a camera. They can be good. They can make a shitty camera look really good, or they can make a good camera look really shitty. You can experiment with lenses. You can get broken lenses. You can get scratch lenses. You can get anamorphic lenses. It can really change the way you think about an image, and it can really offer so much more creative possibilities just by shooting on a camera with a detachable lens. It's just the kit lens that came with the camera, and it's not too bad. Could be a little bit better, but also for the price that you get, it's pretty decent. The image quality is way more sharper than any iPhone could be, and you can import color profiles onto here if you want to experiment with looks like that. And that's only something I've recently started doing. I'm still learning things about this camera to get more great image quality out of it, and it's become kind of a B camera towards making videos now. So that's all as well ends well. I have a Canon camera, and it looks great, and everything looks great. What else would I ever need in life besides this thing? Well, you know what? I get greedy. Back way! For the big chungus. Oh my god. This is the camera that I use now. I don't recommend it if you're not into actually shooting films and stuff like that, because here's why. So when this camera came out, I knew I had to have it because it was the best cinematic camera for the price. 4K, raw video. That's really the only things that I liked about it. It's user-friendly. It really, you get such good image quality for the price. Now, granted, it's still expensive, but compared to other cinematic cameras, really cannot beat this price. You can go toe-to-toe with the Red camera or an Arri Alexa. Those are like tens of thousands of dollars, and this is $1,300. You can record straight onto an SSD, which is what I do all the time, and it's just so convenient. It's so worthwhile, but you gotta do so much more setup to get good image quality out of it, man. When I first got this, I knew nothing about it because I didn't understand lighting, so my lighting looked completely flat. I didn't know how to color grade. Honestly, it didn't start looking super good up until I got the yellow walls in my room, because during that point I was learning how to color grade. I was learning how to shoot better. Thanks to college, I can actually I can competently use this camera, and I can say that I'm a pretty good shooter. Micro Four Thirds lens, so there's like a little bit of a crop factor into it, meaning that like you don't get the full like frame size. Put it back on, put it back on. You don't get the full frame size as like with other cameras, and that might bother some people, but it really doesn't bother me because I can still get like wicked good image quality out of it. And this lens, man, I love this lens. It's a zoom lens. It does low f-stop. I would like to get one that goes even lower, but man, it's so good. And 4K, man. 4K is a really high number. It makes the file sizes so ridiculously big, and it's kind of hard to work with. I had to upgrade my whole computer just to, you know, edit 4K video. Granted, I probably could have just like used proxies or whatever. But screw it, man. It was all an investment. It was an investment that was great, and I loved it. And I love this camera, and I love the computer I have now, and I love everything that I have. And because in college I owned a good, decent camera, I didn't have to rent from the school in order to shoot my own stuff. I could just do it. It's generally one of the things that I use the most. I probably use this thing like every day, and that's not even counting the fact that it takes great pictures. So I use it a lot, and just being able to use it for YouTube is just a bonus. My 100th episode looks great. All my episodes look great, and it's because of this thing that I wanted to get for short films. Honestly, if you told me that I wasn't allowed to use this thing anymore and I had to use like the Canon or my iPhone, I'd probably shoot myself. I like good image quality, and I can never go back. But yeah, those were all the cameras that I just grew up using. And honestly, if it weren't for this little dingus right here, this guy, like this little stinky little man right here, I don't think I've ever would really get into like the hobby of cameras and stuff like that. And so this is just something that's really cool to me. I'm not just a video game nerd, I'm also a camera nerd. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for becoming a member. I'm probably gonna do more videos like this about the other equipment that I use. This is a chance to get to know me a little bit better. And if you grow a parasocial relationship with me, no,